Cross TV, inspiring station.
Good morning and welcome to another wonderful episode of the Morning Star Breakfast Show, brought to you by Star Cross TV, and I'm David Eric. It is a very wonderful day here in the city of Calabar. The sun is set and we are ready to receive the positive energy from the sun to make sure our day goes smoothly. Once again, welcome to the Morning Star Breakfast Show, and definitely I will not be doing this episode alone. I am always here with my wonderful, beautiful, amazing colleague. Her name is Sister Peace. Good morning to you, Sister Peace, and welcome to another wonderful episode of Morning Star.
Good morning to you, Brother David.
Morning.
Eric, you're looking sharp.
Oh,
this
thank
morning.
you, thank
I
you.
hope
So
you're doing great.
I am following you,
I hope you're doing great.
Yes, I am.
All right. Good morning to our wonderful, beautiful, and esteemed audience. I hope you're also doing great and you woke up from the right side of your bed. You're feeling very positive about today and ready to take up the challenge that today might bring. Challenge, yes, I said challenge. That is all what you said you've planned to do today. I believe you have, reason to the fact that you can accomplish each and every one of your to-do lists. Good morning to you once again, and thank you so much for joining us on the Morning Star Breakfast Show.
All right, thank you so much. You've heard it from Sister Peace. Our work here is to always make sure you do the right thing at the right time. We're always here to spur you up, irrespective of what you are going through. We know so many persons are going through a lot, but most times it do not look like the problem. So in as much as you can be able to package yourself, definitely there is a great light ahead. So you have to put everything together and make sure you get those things done. The day-to-day activities are very, very important. When you have a very good schedule and very great achievement at the end of the day, definitely you will be happy with yourself. You will definitely be happy with yourself. So, away from that, let me ask you a piece of wonderful question. Did you wake up on the right side of your bed today?
Of course I did. Of course
And
I
secondly,
did.
is there a right side of the bed?
Yeah, definitely there is. There's also the wrong side. Sometimes, why I'm saying this is because sometimes you could wake up feeling so sad. It happens. Maybe you had a bad dream. Some people call it nightmare.
Yeah.
And you woke up. Maybe you were fighting with someone, or you saw a face like you did not really expect. That maybe you saw someone, your sister, trying to give you hot peppered, how do I call it, pepperish rice. When you know that definitely you don't like eating. I'm setting it as an example.
Yeah.
When you know that you don't like eating that, and she knows, and she's bringing it to you in a dream. That's the irony of life. So you might end up waking up and feeling so bad about it. Sometimes you wake up, the energy is just so down. You're feeling down. Sometimes you're asking yourself, what actually happened?
What happened?
You understand?
Did you do too much last night?
Did you do too much, or did you eat too much last night? It usually comes, but then you're seeing yourself feeling so bad and all of that. So sometimes it's always there. You could actually wake up from the wrong side. Or you could actually wake up from the right side, feeling so happy and energetic and all of that.
All right, growing up, I have been looking for every means to identify the right side of the bed and the wrong side of the bed. It sounds somehow, but I always try to, where is the right side of the bed, so that when I wake up, I should be on the right side of the bed.
When you sleep on the right side of your body, or the left side of your body, maybe it's the irony of it.
But mentally, we have to understand that it is the energy we use in waking up most times that gives us the right side and the wrong side of the bed. So, just a piece in the short notes. How do we avoid the wrong side of the bed?
How do we avoid the wrong side of the bed? I think we once had a discussion of this nature, and I can remember saying that first you have to know that when you're going to bed, you have to start by maybe you have to pray, which is very important. You have to pray before going to bed. Remember, when you woke up, before that night, you had to still commit your day to God. And now going back to sleep, you still have to thank Him for everything you have been able to accomplish for that day.
Sure.
The tasks and even the ones you have not been able to accomplish, knowing that you can actually do it the next day. But you have to put it in prayers and also tell God to protect you, because I've seen or I've heard of a scenario where people sleep and they don't wake up.
True.
They pass, take another journey while in their dreamland, and they cannot come back to this other side. So that's how you start, by putting your nights, your sleep, everything. You have to put it in prayer.
Definitely.
When you wake up, you understand, you have to, first thing first, you have to also pray. because I feel when you wake up without praying, there's a whole lot. You know, the world we are living, you don't know what is close to you. Someone once told me that even as you're walking, you don't know how many persons are walking closer to you.
True.
You know, it's, how do I put it? It's beyond what the mere eyes can see.
It is beyond
But that's
what
just the
my eyes
truth.
can
You
see.
understand? You don't know as you're seated down here. I'm not trying to scare you.
Yes.
As you're seated down here,
You're saying
you
you're setting the obvious.
yes, you don't actually know who is seated close to you.
True.
But it's a fact, you understand? Even when you're walking along the road, you don't know who is actually walking close to you.
Yeah.
You understand? So I feel even wherever you are, whether you're in your closed door, your closed space and everything, you have to still pray. Commit whatever, the first thing you do, have to pray, you know, after waking up. Thank God for the night. Thank God for the day. Whatever you'll be doing, you have to commit it. And once you do that, I think it starts with singing first. You have to start by singing before praying. So once you're doing that, in the moments of praises, it tends to elevate your energy. You understand?
Yeah.
It tends to, you feel this life coming into you once you start singing and you start praying. So once you do all those things, I don't see the, you know,
You waking up on the wrong side.
You understand? People
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, I actually woke up from the wrong side of the bed." I don't think that energy would come because everything around that moment you have been able to commit it into prayer, and you have been able to, you know, start by praises. Once you start by praises, everything, the ambience changes and everything.
Definitely.
So
All right,
that's
away
just
from
it.
that, I have a funny one now to your audience. Do you think that the environment can also enhance waking up on the wrong side of the bed? You know,
Eric, okay.
there is an environment you're going to wake up in, you understand? You understand you have to lay everything in the hands of God and so on and so forth. But there's an environment you wake up in, you know that you would definitely be on the right side of the bed. If I'm wrong, please tell me I'm wrong.
Maybe our audience will have to correct that.
You know, they say health is wealth. And,
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
if you eat healthy and you take the right nutrients, you do everything right, and you sleep on the right bed, you understand what I'm talking about? Definitely, you're going to wake up on the right side of the bed. Please, am I wrong on these aspects?
I don't know. Our audience would have to say something about this, but then I would still want to throw in something that if the environment we stay, whether it has anything to do or whether it contributes to the energy we get at the point or at some point, yes. I feel it still boils down to what I've already said.
Okay.
Like I said, sometimes the environment constitutes of so many things,
Sure.
not just maybe the inanimate things, even the humans around you,
Sure.
and even the spirit, the air,
True.
everything around
Definitely.
you. So that's what makes up the environment at that point. You understand?
Yeah.
So now the environment can contribute because someone might actually walk to you. Maybe you're just waking up. Have you seen a situation where someone comes and hits you and you have to, you know, maybe the person wants to actually tell you something.
Yeah.
You understand? And maybe this person doesn't know how to approach you, knowing that you're sleeping, and the next thing the person is tapping you.
Just wake up
You
in the
understand?
first
And
manner.
immediately you just wake up only to hear of something that is not important. At that point, you feel so bad. Why did you wake me up?
Yeah.
Before you know it, because you woke
The
up.
mood is bad already.
You understand?
Yeah.
That's how it starts. And another thing, like I said, maybe you don't know the energy, you know, spirit and all of that.
True.
What you cannot see
True.
can actually pollute the environment you're
True.
walking around. You don't know the energy something might actually say. There's this book we read, this literature when I was in secondary school, The Tempest. And in The Tempest, there is this spirit, it's whether the Ariel,
Ariel.
the
Written
spirit
by
that is
William
Ariel.
Shakespeare.
Yes. So the Ariel would always come to you and make you do what you don't want to do.
True.
In that novel. You understand?
Yeah.
To make you do what you don't want to do. And so you'll be like, why did I do it? But this is something you cannot see, but there's actually a force making you do
Definitely.
things you don't want to do at the point. So what am I actually saying? Sometimes the things we don't see can actually, you know, enhance the feelings at that particular point in time. So I don't know if I'm wrong. Please, our audience, do well to go to or you can actually call us or go to our Facebook page or our YouTube page and just drop a comment. Does the environment you stay, does it have a way to contribute to how you feel at the moment? Am I correct?
Yes, you are correct.
All right.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Peace. And to you, our audience, we are officially live on Facebook and also on YouTube. Do well to join us in the conversation. You know you are the reason why we are here. And we are also here to make sure we inspire you, we enlighten you, we educate you, and we motivate you.
Yeah.
You understand? So many persons are going through a lot, but we don't want you to look like a problem. You have to stand up. You have to rise up, please, and get those things done, please. You have to get those things done. All right, we'll go on a short break, and when we come back, the mornings that continue. Stay glued.
BCS Music.
When you're far away from home and your candlelight is low, stars will see you through, for you and not alone. You've lost the way to go, it's not the end of the road. Lights will guide you home, I'll always stand by you, and I will be your friend. When the road is rough and cold, you'll never walk alone in this evil world of sin. And I will lead the way and ignite your candle flames. Stars will guide you home, I'll always stand by you. So don't forget the road that leads you home. Don't forget there is a candle you hold. Stars will guide you home, they will guide you home. I'll always stand by you. Don't forget, the Lord is your stronghold. He should anchor when your candle is low. Stars will guide you home, I'll always stand by you. In this journey of life, my words should guide your heart. Come rain or sunshine, I'll always stand by you. In the registry of life, we must go through pain for gain. Stars will guide you home, I'll always stand by you. And I will be your friend when the road is rough and cold. You'll never walk alone in this evil world of sin. I will lead the way and ignite a candle flames. Stars will guide you home, I'll always stand by you. So don't forget, so don't forget, road that leads you home. And don't forget, there is a candle you hold. The stars will guide you home. Yeah, I'll always stand by you. So don't forget, the Lord is your stronghold. He's your anchor when your candle is low. Stars will guide you home, I'll always stand by you.
When darkness falls and fears arise, oh, do not forget the Lord is your greatest might. He said, I will walk beside you through the tears and the battle. Also the stars will guide you home to a place of refuge. As you toil, legion surrounds you. As you sleep, my words protect you. As you wake, my light leads the way. You are not alone. Shine my name in the dark. You see my wonders and might in your life. I will always be beside you, hand in hand, I'll never leave your pride. Stars will guide you home. Stars will guide you home. Stars will guide you home. So do not forget.
Don't forget.
Do not forget. You are not alone.
Don't forget,
You are not alone.
Welcome back, welcome back. You're still watching the Morning Star Breakfast Show brought to you by Starcross TV. And I'm still here, David Eric, and I'm with my beautiful, amazing colleague. Her name is Sister Peace. She's a practical example of the therapy very own Christ ambassador, Goma, you normally gives to us.
Why you always
you can just look at
on
her.
my face?
But I am saying the truth.
At the same time, you're trying to sell me out.
I cannot sell you out. Even if I want to sell you out, enough for 30 pieces of silver. I'm going to be selling you out for
1 million.
No, 1 million is too small. No, it's too small. For the big bag at the top.
But you still look
how do you do to practice this wonderful? Amazing. I know you eat fruits now a lot. Am I lying?
Okay, I won't lie. What I do every morning, I try to drink water.
Wow.
Because I also learned it here on set how
Yeah.
important water is. So although my grandma once told me that, but you know, sometimes our new Gen Z world, when once old people tell you that, you feel like, oh, maybe that's saying
old
it
school,
because
it's old
you
school.
understand. But it's, having to, you know, keep interacting with our health therapist or something.
Yeah.
So I learned that it's very important. Even if you don't eat anything in the morning, just make sure you take water. It helps to, you know, break down all the what you have eaten last night.
True.
That you were going to, maybe you had that indigestion or indigestion was to take place. But once you drink water first thing in the morning, it helps to break down all those things. So that's what I started doing, and so far so good. I can attest to the fact that
It is working.
it is actually working, because even if I don't eat, like what I do these days, sometimes I come out to work, I don't eat.
Yeah.
So those periods I don't eat, I make sure that I have taken water before stepping
Enough.
out, so that it will help to, you know, start working and break down some things in my body. So
All right. Do you want to be like Sister
a little
Peace?
bit of exercise. as
Ah,
well,
God.
I love it.
Do you want to be like Sister Peace?
Excuse me,
Make
how,
sure
right?
you follow us on Monday with Christ Ambassador Ogoma Yanayo, and now you can see the true replicate of what Ambassador has been preaching. You have to drink water regularly, you have to take fruits, and enough of exercise. And definitely you'll be glowing like Sister Peace.
Same as you. You're still glowing as well.
Oh,
And
thank you.
sober, Eric.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, away from that, let's bring you over to the topic of discourse for today. Now, you already know that this is the week of the Mercy Fellowship and also the Welfare Fellowship. And you know very well that mercy cannot be taken away when you do not have forgiveness and reconciliation. So today our topic of discourse is reconciliation. We have to look at reconciliation today. Again, it's very important. As we normally say, most times we know this thing, but due to how often we are looking for our daily bread, sometimes we tend to forget about the necessity. So today we're going to be drawing your attention back again once to reconciliation. All right, Sister Peace, now before we go into what is reconciliation, now let's look at this point. Is it very, very necessary that as a human being, you keep showing mercy to your fellow brother and sister? You keep showing mercy, but you cannot reconcile when they offend you.
Okay, you keep showing mercy to them, but you
Yeah.
cannot reconcile when they
Offend you.
I feel it still works hand in hand, because you cannot reconcile, so you cannot forgive.
It's
When-
some people do that.
Okay.
Now, I can send a hand of fellowship to you. Maybe you need something, and I can send it indirectly, but I do not want to talk with you. I do not want to reconcile our differences.
Yeah, I've seen scenarios like that. Thank you so much. I've actually seen scenarios like that where they feel like, oh, since he offended me or she offended me, you can be there, I'll be here, but whatever you need, I'll still be doing it for you.
True.
It really happens between brothers or siblings, let me put it that way, between siblings. But then I feel the need for, you should forgive. If you're actually forgiving someone, there's also a need to, bring them back. Because when you forgive, you say, okay, someone once said, at least you have to be at arm's length with them. You understand? Depending on what they actually
situation is.
did. But then the Bible has also told us that it has to be, is it 777?
70 times 7.
70 times, 7 times. So if you're actually forgiving someone, you should all work with reconciling, you understand, with that person. Because you cannot say you're forgiving someone and then you don't want anything to do with them or be close to them. Because definitely, when you see them, the thought of what they did will actually reflect back on you. So tell me, have you actually forgiven them?
They say prevention is better than
What
cure.
are you preventing? What are you preventing? I understand that you can actually prevent these things if you try to, you know, not let them happen again. Maybe this set of persons are people who are fond of insulting you. Someone once said, I can actually play with any, like you can actually joke with me and I'll take it simple. But when once insult comes in, it's something I'll never forgive you.
True.
Someone once said that. But then, at the same time, I feel like when we reconcile with people, or when we want to forgive people, there's need to reconcile and forget and forgive in, should I say, holistically.
Yeah.
You understand? Because you can't say, oh, I've forgiven you, but that thing is still in your mind.
You cannot
Like when I
forget.
say you, oh, Eric actually did this. So because I'm keeping you arm's length, I don't want to remember what you did to me. But if you need my help, I'm helping you. It happens like that. But
Yeah.
I don't see the need for that. You understand? When I forgive you, I should be able to forgive you completely. That's why people say you're taking my simplicity for
Granted.
Granted. You understand? Because for one, I'm someone, let me take myself for example. I'm someone that when someone do things to me or does things to me, when once I say it, I've forgiven you, there's no
Completely.
point. Yeah, there's no point, you know, carrying it in my mind, because I would always say my heart is very small that I can't carry you. Look at how tall you are. Imagine you're a girl and you're looking so plumpy or you're looking so whatever. You know, I carry and put in my heart, this is my small chest. I can't do it now. That's waste of energy.
I wish everybody can have this
You understand? It
mindset.
should not help me. Now you're saying that, oh, Sister Peace, you are practicing what Sister Ugo has been teaching us on health sex, tips and all of that. I feel for you to also be like that. Your heart has to be clean.
True.
Because once you start harboring people in your mind, you're forgiving them. But whenever you see them, it reflects in your mind. Oh, you actually did this. You understand?
What this person did to me,
you'll be
it's
looking
too
at
heavy.
it.
But do you think at any point in time that there's some things that when it happens to you that you cannot forget?
Yes, that's why I said when someone said I can never forget an insult. I know there are some people out there who actually, when you insulted them, it's something that it's like a stigma.
Yeah, on them.
On them, they cannot forgive you easily.
Yeah.
You understand? So outside insults, there are other ways someone can actually offend you, and it's something you can never forgive them. Maybe they actually blackmailed you, or maybe they actually backstab. You know, is it backstab they call it or something? So it all happens in different ways. But at the same time, I feel when we always see the need to forgive and forget, I think it's still okay. You understand? Because know that you as a person, you are human.
True.
One day you also offend someone,
True.
knowingly or unknowingly.
True.
You might say something, okay, there was recent someone mistook my words for something different. You understand? But at the same time, okay, let's put it that way. Maybe I offended that person not knowing.
Yeah.
But the person mistook it in a different way. You understand?
True.
So I've been trying to avoid offending people, but I've offended someone without knowing. Do you understand my point?
Yeah.
Now, if I had not forgiven someone way back, maybe people offended me, I used to carry it in my mind. You understand? When I see them, I'll squeeze my face. Do you think the spirit of forgiveness can also enter the person to forgive me, even when I'm not wrong?
Yeah.
Do you understand? So it all works in two ways. Always learn to see how to forgive people, even when people do things to you. I know there are some things you cannot easily let go, but by prayers you can. I feel we'll still go down to.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, the
We'll still
steps
get to that place.
reconciliation.
Okay, it is like a scar given to a child by the parents.
Yeah.
How do you think this child is going to cope? Imagine you growing up one day, and you know when you're small, you might not really get those ideas.
Yeah.
Now, when you have grown up to become a matured man or a matured woman, and you keep reflecting on a scar given to you by your own parent, like a very dreaded scar. How do you think you can cope? Like, how is it possible for you to cope? This is like the world we are living in today. Most persons have gotten diverse scars. It could be scars that can be seen. And I feel maybe the ones that can be seen are the ones that you can even let go. So the ones that you cannot even see that are emotional, like they are traumatizing. Like when you think about the situation that you went through, it is really, really, really bad. That you do not want to even think about reconciling.
You know, there is this, I think it's something that is currently ongoing. A child's parent, I think the woman has about, if not 3 or 4 kids, but the way she beats up these children, Recently I heard that she had to pluck iron and, was using it on the child's body just because the child offered to help a neighbor, cut periwinkle or something. And now the person, just to say, oh, thank you so much, gave that child a little penny. When the mom came back, after he had flogged this child, like to her own satisfaction, she had to pluck iron to the current and use it on the child's body. Not just this, there have been scenarios where this woman have replicated this act in different ways by words, you understand. Sometimes the children would always come and say so hurtful things about what this woman has been doing to them. So those are kind of
Are you sure she's the one that gave birth to the children?
Definitely she is the one. She is the one because the person is quite close, so we know much about them. She is the one who gave birth to those children. So these are scars that the children would never forget. Do you understand? So it's something that growing up, once they reflect on that, it will take the mercy of God, or by the mercy of God, for them to see how they can actually forget or forgive their mom because their mom did this to them. Even as young as they are, one is about 8 years or so, or 10 years. You understand? As young as those children are, they are all saying that when they grow up, they'll show her pepper. That's what they're saying. So what am I saying this? I'm not trying to bring in the scenario to, paint it black and all of that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that some things that parents would do to children or to their children when they grow up, they tend not to forget. They'll want to pay back. But at the same time, I'll still say forgiveness is the key. But as parents, we should be careful. Parents should be careful. Because once you keep instilling, remember, it's your work to instill good values into these children. But when you end up instilling bad value or wrong values into them, they'll take it up to another generation to come. Before you know it, it keeps growing, it keeps increasing. Before you know it, we'll now have generations of viper or generations of gangsters and all of that. So sometimes I feel parents should be careful whatever they're doing to, one day we sat down here and I said, it takes, any woman can be a mother, but it takes a real woman, a mother in the sense that giving birth to children, but it takes a virtuous woman to be a good mother. Do you understand? Because by the time you know that your job is just to bring these children into the world, but you don't know what it takes to make these children grow up in the right way, you understand, in the ways of the Lord, the way we used to put it. What then are you teaching these children? Tomorrow they grow up, become dangerous or become villain to people around them. What are you building? What values are you instilling in these children? So I feel that scars that can never be forgotten. But even at it, you still have to learn to forgive. You still have to learn.
Okay, I do not want to just draw the curtains close or go deep. Let's take it one after the other. We understand that forgiveness is a spirit and is a virtue that can be given by God Almighty. I don't think you can work for it on 100%, but it has to come gradually from God. You have to pray, because most things we face now, let's look at it, for example. We see generations fighting generations, and these have lingered, and it's still going on. It's still going on up to now. And you know very well that it is said that heaven and earth will pass away if the word of God do not come to manifestation. Now, we understand that most persons, they may have this generational struggle, maybe a piece of land. It's common around us here now.
That's why it's happening now.
Yeah, a piece of land. And okay, let me say my father gave me a piece of land as the first child. Maybe my father gave birth to like 3 or 4 male children, and I'm the first child, and he gave me the piece of land as the first child. Now, we growing up, my other brothers are like, no, why would our father give the piece of land to the first child? And you know very well that every place have their own tradition and custom. And now by tradition and custom, we understand that yes, carries most of those things. Now, you can tell me that definitely before you know, there will be commotion. There will be problems. Now
that's if the children
do not have that understanding.
Yes, the understanding of the culture.
There will be problem. There will be situation, and before you know, this situation will travel from the first generation to the next generation. At the end of the day, they may end up start killing themselves, and the piece of land is going to stay there. So tell me how there will be reconciliation. Because now history will always go back to history to trace.
Yeah,
Esau will
how
now
did
say,
it all happened?
are you aware that in so year, your father was killed because of this? So now you have to go back and take our rightful right. This is what we are facing in the world today. So tell me, how can this stop?
Okay, thank you so much, Beric. Thank God you said forgiveness is a spirit.
Yes.
Yes, it's a spirit, because once there is forgiveness, I think one has to pray for it to come, for that spirit to come, because it's not everyone that has that spirit.
Okay, so
But then
Sister
you
Peace,
can actually have it.
let
if you
us
pray.
let us put it this way now. Now, your dad is the one that's supposed to inherit the land, and he has brothers, and you knew very well that he's the one. All of a sudden, due to the struggle and so many things, they had to bring him down, like take him beyond.
Yeah, I understand.
And now the story was told to you when you were grown up, that this happened, and now you now grow up to become a very standard lawyer and so on. You would definitely want to exercise your franchise.
Yeah, definitely, I would as a human.
Yes,
but
this
now
is what we're saying.
Also knowing that, it all comes with, if you have the understanding of how the world works. That's first. Secondly, if you don't have much interest for the things of the world, like all the material things, why am I saying this? You know that, yes, it's a land. Definitely, it was meant for your dad or something.
Yeah.
But then, this is something you can actually buy somewhere else. It's not until, I feel sometimes why these things happen is because maybe these sets of persons are lazy. I'm sorry to put it that way, because if you're actually hardworking, I've seen multiple scenarios where members of the family are like, fine, since it's what they want, they can go with it as long as no one ends up dying for it. You understand? Because you know that you can actually purchase this thing again. It's a land, yes, of course, it's very big and all of that, but if you're hardworking, you can actually buy it. Just give it to them and move ahead. You understand? But when once that idea that since it's my own, I have to get it, there will always be bloodshed, there will always be fighting, and there will never be peace. Before you know it becomes a generational thing. Just like you're saying, now I'm a lawyer, I want to go back and fight. The idea that, as I'm going back to fight, this thing might actually come back, like in terms of, they want to take your life for it, or someone very important to you will also go because of this thing. You understand? So I feel it all comes with understanding how the world works. You understand? So if you know that this is something, or this is something you can actually work for, you can actually achieve, you can actually purchase by yourself, why not you find another alternative, go and buy it, let peace reign. This is the land. Definitely one day, that same person who is ready to fight to get this thing, that person will still leave that land. Someone once said that the lands you have, all the mansions you have, the children, they will not put it for you.
True.
Once you are going.
True.
I was watching on yeah, definitely. I was watching
It's so funny.
There's this program I was watching on TV once. So there's this man who wrote a song. You understand? So when they asked him to explain this song, he said that the only thing we as humans, despite the fact that you're rich, I'm maybe average, I don't have, the only thing we have in common is death.
True.
Yes. Because one day, no matter how big and mighty or rich you are, definitely you go one day. So that's the same thing, that poor man you are, stepping on, that you feel he's nothing, it will still be the same ground that person will be put into. You understand? So what am I saying? The fact is, if it's something you can actually get somewhere, why not you find another, just go and get it and leave that one, rather than fighting over a piece of land. I know it's very difficult. It's easy to sit down here and say it. You understand? It's easy because this is something that has caused war in different places, both internationally and nationally and all of that.
Yeah.
You understand? Even in our local community, this is what people are killing people for. Sometimes it might not just be the land, maybe just, maybe a wife, or children or something. You understand? People tend to go because of it. So let's just understand that these things are all material things, they're all earthly things. You came and met it. Definitely you go and live it. So the best thing is for you to find the spirit, or how do I call it, find peace with yourself, learn to reconcile, live these things, and I think the best thing in this life is to see how you can live a life worthy of, maybe tomorrow you are being called by the Creator, you can actually give account of what you have been doing. Do you understand?
True.
Because definitely, if you are here fighting, someone once said there's something you do that when you leave this place and you are being called for to give accounts of what you have been doing, they'll trash you well. Because you messed up your life. Sorry for using that word. You actually did what you were not supposed to do while you were on earth.
All right, thank you so much, Sister Peace. In as much as it sounds so beautiful, but of a truth, reconciliation is something that takes a deep heart.
Yeah.
I have seen two siblings where they fought, and as they fought, the mom said, "All right, Junior, go and grip your brother and tell him that you are sorry for beating me up." And the younger one said, "Mommy, I'm not going to agree. I'm not going to say he beat me. I'm not going to agree." Those kind of things. All right, we're going to go on a break. When we come back, we're going to be looking at the steps to take for us to get reconciliation done. All right, don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
Receive my peace that surpasseth all pain. The peace I give unto you is not of the world. Receive my peace, my lasting peace. Let my great peace be with you forever. Let my great peace dwell with you forever. Receive my peace that surpasses all pains. The peace I give unto you is not of the world. Receive my peace, my lasting peace. Let my great peace dwell with you forever. Let my great peace be with you forever. And behold the King of Kings, the cosmic intelligence, the pride of Africa and the pride of the world, has come this day sending no one to give you peace, a lasting peace. Receive ye this peace if you believe. Peace that ye may be elevated. Peace that crisis may be no more. Peace that sorrows may be no more. Yagme mama si odu ye mufo. Sam kani papa.
The Song
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're still on the Morning Star Breakfast Show, brought to you by Starcross TV. And on your screen was a very wonderful, amazing performance by various choirs during the just concluded 2025 BCS Mega Event. Thank you so much for joining us on the Morning Star Breakfast Show. And I'm still here with my beautiful, amazing colleague of mine, Sister Peace. Good to have you back, Sister Peace.
Welcome back, Brother Eric.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. All right, before you join us, if you just join us rather, our topic of discourse is reconciliation. Yes, we are going back to the basics, reminding you the essence why you have to reconcile. No matter what and what you're going through, no matter the scars you have mentally, physically, or otherwise, it is very, very important that you have to reconcile. Reconciliation brings back peace of mind and brings back the originality. All right, I'll allow Sister Peace to be taking us through the steps for reconciliation.
Okay, thank you so much, Brother Eric. Yes, welcome back, our audience. If you're just joining us, yes, like rightly mentioned by Brother Eric, we are talking about reconciliation. And so far, we have looked at it in different angles, how you can forgive someone and reconcile with someone you offended sincerely. So now, we will be looking at the steps towards, reconciling with someone and reconciling with yourself. Because I feel it doesn't have to do with forgiving another person alone or reconciling with someone else alone. It has to start with yourself. You understand? Because if you cannot reconcile with yourself, or if you don't learn to, reconcile with yourself at first, you cannot reconcile with another person. So first of all, we'll start with the steps, which is preparation. So under preparation, we'll be looking at self-reflection.
Self-reflection.
So what do I mean by self-reflection? So you have to take out time to reflect on your actions, acknowledging your role in the conflict and how you feel about it. So identify what you hope to achieve through the reconciliation process.
All right. I need to say something on this reflection. Most times when a case is about to be judged and you've gotten this self-reflection, most times some persons feel entitled that they are not supposed to push the first button to say they want to be the ones to apologize.
Pride.
You see? So I don't know, do we really need to reflect, or we just say, let us just...
No, you cannot. You have to first reflect on it. You understand? I know sometimes in the process of reflecting, you might find out that you were not at fault. You understand? And as such, that can be or become an hindrance towards you starting it first or looking for reconciliation. You understand? But at the same time, I still feel like you have to start with reflecting on yourself first. Know where it all started, how you got involved, you understand, where you got it wrong. True. Even if you're not wrong, you understand, just look at it. The ability for you to reflect on these things will make you know the best approach to take.
True.
like I said, sometimes when in the bit to reflect on these things, you realize that maybe you were not wrong.
You were not.
But you can't just let it be. You know that there are reasons why, or this stands as one of the reasons why families, maybe husband and wife, or siblings, they tend to live in agony with one another because
True.
in the process of reflecting, oh, I wasn't actually wrong. But because you want peace to reign, you have to move.
Just accept the fact.
You understand? Accepting the fact that maybe you were actually wrong. What if the way I said it was actually wrong? What if the way I looked at it was actually wrong? You understand?
True.
You just have to look at those things. And even if you have done that and you realize that maybe you are not at fault, there's still need to be a bigger person. Remember, age is just a number, but maturity is in how you see things.
True.
So there's need for you to start by, okay, this is how it was, but I'm wrong. Maybe I got it wrong somewhere. Okay, let's just move for forgiveness. Let's just reconcile with ourselves. Let's not allow this thing to linger.
To linger up
so
and
in
down.
the process of doing these things, you see that the other person will also learn from it. You understand? So that's why I said you have to start with self-reflection first. And after doing that, you have recognized the conflict. So after recognizing the conflict, you have acknowledged the issue and the impact on both parties involved. So by the time you have maybe you've reflected, you have analyzed this whole scenario, you have what English will like expatiate on the problem or the conflict at hand. You understand? From there, you know that maybe this is how this person got wrong. Sometimes it might not be you being one of the party. You understand? Parties. It might be maybe two persons.
But you are just involved in one way or the other.
As a middle person, you just want to bring in peace. Okay, this is how it all started. Maybe this is where this other person got it wrong. Maybe that's the person who is forming like, I was right. You understand?
True.
Or maybe this is where this other person who is feeling guilty. Maybe the person wasn't at fault. You understand? But the ability for you to be able to reflect on this
around what happened is very
around
important.
what happens to actually help both parties to bring in peace.
All right.
So another thing, can I go on?
Yes, please go on.
So another thing is expressing your feelings. Bring in both parties to talk. I know once you still sat down and talked about conflict resolution.
Yes.
Yes, so it's still also part of it. So now, you have all looked at this problem. Okay, this is where Mr. A got it wrong, and this is where Mr. B got it wrong. Or both of you come back. Or this is where I got it wrong, and this is where this other person got it wrong. Or maybe I wasn't actually wrong. So how well can you express yourself to ensure that this person will not see it like...
See it very bad.
You are trying to protect yourself. You understand?
Most time, that is why we have counselors. They will say, okay, you go and report your case to this, report your case. Because if there is still, the atmosphere is still heated, and this one is trying to express his or her own feeling. This one is trying to express his or her own feeling. At the end of the day, it may still heat up again, and they may not get a neutral ground.
Yes, but even with that, I still see the need for both parties to maybe in the
say it out.
Yes, say it out.
Just let it out.
You understand? I was actually wrong. Maybe the way you said. Sometimes it happens that this person will like the way he said this thing. I was not happy. Do you understand? That is the process of reconciling. The way you said these things, I was not happy. Maybe in the bit of saying something, you were not, maybe you did not know that you actually used a word that is hurtful to the other person.
True.
So now in the bit of reconciling, this person will say, you actually said this thing, and it's wrong. And from there, you can move for apology. I'm sorry, I didn't know that I actually said it in a wrong way. So there's need for expression. Do you understand? Just say it out. Let's know, air out. Someone will say, air out your feelings. You understand? Say it out. So when you say it out, at that point, the other person might know where he or she actually wronged you as a person. And as such, when that is done, so you have to also acknowledge the other person. Let's say you are the mediator, you have to acknowledge the other person's perspective or both parties' perspective. Maybe you were actually wrong. Yes, accept you were wrong. Don't just say, I wasn't wrong. You know that this set of persons that they are wrong.
But they will not
never
always
want to agree.
Like they don't want to agree that they are wrong.
Yes.
This is the bad part about reconciling. Most persons feel that they are entitled to it, that they are right, that they must be right at every time. They do not want to drop their ego and so on. I think for you to reconcile, you must always try to drop your ego down.
Yes, you have to.
It's very important. For me, a mediator at that point in time, if you want to reconcile parties that have gotten issues, you have to make sure that you have a sincere heart. Please don't come and cite somebody. That's
I think that's a very important fact.
Yes.
Because sometimes you are coming as a middleman to solve a problem between both.
You want to find a way to gain favor.
Mr. A, you wronged Mr. B. No, because once you start saying this one wronged this other one without sharing both perspectives, you
Yeah.
end up seeing more problems. Oh, so you came to support this person.
True.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So I feel as a mediator, you have to always, understand both parties, acknowledge both
Don't take sides.
parties' perspectives. Don't take sides, because once you start doing these things, it will, instead of diminishing or bringing down the problem, it will escalate it
True.
to a higher height. So another thing is be an active listener. This is more of a middleman, you
Yeah.
understand? Or even you as a person who, maybe it was you and I who had a problem. So if I'm the one moving for the forgiveness or for the reconciliation, I have to learn to, listen better than talking. Someone once said that you should be, I've forgotten how it's been said, but you should be more of a quick listener or a good listener than a quick talker, something like that. So rather than, because you are throwing when I want to throw too, you understand? So you just, I have to.
This is what I was talking about,
Yes.
the moment of reflection, like speaking out, saying everything. Because if one person at the point of reconciliation, one person is not there to permit me to use the word to say, to play the full aspect,
Yes, that's
to
it.
just be the fool at that point and just say, okay, because
I agree.
for peace to reign, somebody has to go down for one.
But do you know that sometimes when you tend to, be on the good side, you understand? It's
They
not
term
that-
you as a weakling.
Yes, either you are the weakling or maybe you are actually at fault. You understand?
Yes.
I used to say it that way, but I still feel it's the right thing to do.
True.
Because I've been in scenarios, situations, where if I had wanted to, maybe if I had not been this type that, this thing is going on, I should learn to
Just
calm,
lie down
you
low,
understand?
calm
Lie
down.
low. It would have been a bigger problem.
True.
But because I just wanted it to go, no matter what has happened, at least we should all be on the same page. You understand? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I agree I was at fault. Please pardon me. That it will help, really bring down the problem. So I feel you should start from there. If we learn to accept our own faults, you understand? Because
Sometimes you don't need to accept your fault. This is what I'm trying to say.
Accept it, whether you're
Like,
wrong
what
or
I'm trying
not.
to say is that
Okay.
you can have a heated conversation with somebody who you know that his or her ego is on top notch, and you know very well that the person is the one that's at fault.
Fault,
Now you just have to try
to try to
and be the fool
yeah.
and accept the blame that is not your blame.
But that's
If
the
not,
only
there
way
will
there
be
can
no
be
peace.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the only way there can be peace.
True.
So thank you so much, Eric, for that.
All right.
All right, so let's move ahead to rebuilding trust. Yes, that's another important thing.
I think that's the difficult one. This
Because-
is what I was saying actually. Now, see, most person it might be easy to forgive, to allow your conscience, but
Yeah.
most persons nowadays will say they will forgive and don't forget for them not for this scenario not to occur
Or
again. So the scars might still be there. I think it takes a lot for these scars to be taken away.
Yeah, you're saying the truth. It takes a lot. But then I once said something.
Yes.
Train your mind to not be the type to take things to your heart. I don't know, but
Yes.
like I know I shouldn't be portraying myself as if I'm so like. a
No,
top-notch
you're
in
saying
this,
you're
but,
saying the right thing.
I think at this stage in my life, I train myself to no matter what someone does to me. I might air out my view. If you know me too well, you know
Sure.
that when once you do me something, I'll say it there. I don't know how to carry it. When once I say it there, that's it. I don't have this strength of carrying you in my mind, or someone is trying to slender you behind. I'll sit down there and full and slender just because you hurt me by your words or something. I know that some scars you cannot forget.
True.
But I feel at some point they need to let go.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way you as a person
Because
can
you'll be
healthy.
hurting yourself too.
Yes, you will be hurting yourself, and no matter what you eat, if you like, have all the money in this world. But I'm telling you the secret.
True.
If you like, have all the money in this world, be as beautiful as whatever, it will always show in you. So what are we saying? Once you learn to forgive, learn to let go.
You have
Because
to.
You are not only doing this for yourself,
You have to.
or for the other person, you're doing it also
For
So
yourself.
in the aspect of rebuilding trust, because that's very important. Someone has done this thing to you and you're feeling, let's just say it was a backstabbing kind of something.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to let go.
True.
It's very difficult to trust that other person.
Again.
I'll not sit down here to tell you
Again,
I'll
the
trust you again.
second time, but you have to try.
Yeah, but it starts with sincere apology.
Yeah, a
Let it be
sincere
shown in
apology
your
and actions.
Yes,
True.
you understand. Let it be shown in your actions. Because you can't tell me, peace, I will not do it again. And then you are going around to say things I don't like. And
Maybe even more than what the first scenario was.
You understand? You understand? So if I'm trying to forgive you and forget, You know that you as the same person who has, either done this thing unknowingly, you should also learn to, build that trust again. Be sincere in your apology. Let it be shown in your actions. There are some persons that, I'm sorry to bring these scenarios, but there are some persons that when something happens, they'll take it to the social space and all of that. And then maybe you are trying to forgive this person or forget this scenario,
and now
before
it's
you know it,
everywhere.
This thing is everywhere.
It's everywhere.
You understand?
Yeah.
So I feel it all starts with action. When you apologize sincerely, it should be shown in your action, and should make amends. Take concrete steps into repairing this damage. You understand?
Sure.
See how you can forgive the person. See how you can also forgive yourself. See how these things can be just forgotten about clearly. Our Father is always teaching us on forgiveness. Is always, it's not just teaching us, it's showing it in our actions. Imagine someone like me. If God is to count my sins on me, I would have been a forgotten person by now. But that's the truth.
That is the amazing grace that God gives to us. But we as humans, we do not want to replicate this.
I know we are not perfect. We are not perfect. I, for a person, I'm not perfect. You understand? But then let's just see how we can try this approach, because it will help.
True.
So now, finally, okay, before I move on to finally, let's look at consistency. That's where you said that maybe you keep the person at arm's length because you don't want to get close to the person, so that these things will not repeat itself. But then it all starts with demonstrating that you are reliable. You understand? You are reliable. Let's say maybe it happened you blackmailed your office or your company, or you did something bad, or to someone that is bigger than you and all of that, or maybe it's between siblings and all of that. You just still need to build that space that you can be reliable again. Is
it possible? Like, there are some persons who, when they breach that trust, it is very, very hard.
Yes, it's very, very hard.
Very, very hard. So is it possible for you to gain back that trust?
Yes, it's possible. It's possible, but you have to give the person some time. Do you understand?
And a clear example is that you have to bring out your eye and hand over.
No, it doesn't have to. You just have to watch the person. This is where I think there's this phrase in the Bible: "Be as cunning as it is."
Okay, be as
a dove. And
yes,
all of that. So it's all what it boils down to. When you're forgiving this person. It depends on the scenario of
what happened.
The crime. Yes. So if it's something you need to study this person rather than giving that person your trust at 100% again, just give the person a time, some space. You understand, to learn from this, to know if this person has actually atoned for his sins. You understand, because there are some persons, no matter what, they will never. You understand? It's just in them. Just like God has created you to be a good person. There is someone out there God has created to just use him the way he is, you understand?
Oh God.
So it's all okay for you to just study this person and know if this person truly has changed from his wrong ways, and then move ahead. Then finally we'll talk about moving forward. You understand? When once you let go, learn to move ahead. You understand? Don't try to there's some persons, when you leave a scar on them, they tend to transfer it, like transfer of aggression
to another person close to you.
Close to them. You understand? Oh, this person actually did this thing to me. What if this other person does it? You understand? They're not free with other persons. They feel like, this thing can be replicated by another person. As such, you see them putting themselves in a cage. You understand that it takes only God to bring them out of that cage. So you, as a person who has been victimized, or the other person who is the victim, learn to, after reconciliation, learn to move ahead, move forward. Don't transfer the same aggression or the same scar to someone else. You understand? Because there are people who say that, because this person hurts me, I must hurt another person. You understand? Or this person's family will have to regret from what their brother did or
did to me,
did, and all of that. So let's just learn to show empathy in whatever we're doing, have open discussion or communication, and be patient. Forgiveness comes with a time. Reconciliation comes with a time, especially if you are the one who is victimized. It might not necessarily come immediately. Like, you might not necessarily forgive that person immediately. So it's a gradual process.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Peace. Thank you for taking us through the steps from how to have a wonderful reconciliation. So I want to ask one last question.
Okay.
Is there any prize when you reconcile?
A prize?
Yes.
The biggest prize is yourself. Your happiness, like I said before, your happiness, your state of mind, because I feel carrying people in your heart and everything.
In your small chest.
You understand? It starts by affecting you mentally.
Drains you.
You understand? It drains you. You cannot think right, especially if you are in a space where that person is. You cannot perform your best. You understand?
True.
Because
True.
you want to be
You're right. Most times when you are interfacing somebody you know that you were free with, and all of a sudden
you're not
you guys are not working hand in hand anymore, you tend not to be free, and your best may not be coming out at that particular
But
point in time.
That's the truth. That's why sometimes when I'm caught in such scenarios, I try to, make peace, because definitely your best will never come out. You understand?
Yeah.
Because you'll be feeling like, oh, what if, understand? What if this person is trying to take this of me or all of that? So I feel the biggest prize is yourself, because know that you have offended someone today.
True.
Or maybe someone has offended you today. How about tomorrow? Won't you also need someone to forgive you?
True.
Remember, if you don't need someone, a fellow man like you, to forgive you, how about God, who is always looking at you, and you yourself, you know that you're always offending. No matter how righteous you are,
True.
you can definitely offend in a day. What do I mean? Even the way you look at someone can be an offense. Whatever thought you have across your heart,
True.
maybe someone just passed and you're like, how is that person walking like that? You understand? While growing up, my mommy would always tell us that you don't have to, body shame someone. Maybe the person is not working well, and you're like, that kids
Start
then used to
imitating
do
them.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, kids used to do that a lot. You start laughing, oh, why is that person walking like that, and all of that. So those are ways that no matter how righteous you are, you can actually offend.
Yeah.
Not just yourself or another person, but God. So what am I saying? The biggest price is you. Knowing that you have to learn to forgive for your own happiness, for your own joy, so that God also, who is the creator, can also forgive you.
All right, away from that, the last one is, what price?
But you kept saying the last, okay?
What price do you receive when you forgive?
Okay, I feel
And
it's,
reconcile.
okay.
Because everything we need to have a price.
Yeah.
So what price do you receive when you reconcile?
I think you have also instigated, or should I use instigated? You have also instilled good value on the other person. Remember, we're always talking about evangelism.
Yeah.
But it's not everyone. Yes, let's face the fact. It's not everyone that can actually convince another person by preaching everything that's in the Bible.
True.
Sometimes you can do that by your actions. You understand? So by doing that, you have earned a price. You understand? I don't know if I'm in line with your question.
Yes.
You have also earned a price in instilling good value in another person. Because one day, that person you forgive, that person might have when that person sits down to reminisce on what happened, that person will be like, oh, if I was in this scenario or situation, I don't think I would have been able to forgive. Maybe someone else who heard of such incidents will be like, I don't think I'll be able to forgive. But for the fact that you have forgiven this person, and they're saying that you are still having this close relationship with that person, not showing it in your attitude that, oh, this person actually wronged you or something. You have also instilled good value to another person watching you. So the price is big. This time around, it's not just yourself, but to the environment. You understand?
Yeah. All right, thank you so much. All right, to you, wonderful and amazing audience, it has been beautiful here. Now, you already understand how this works.
Yeah.
Reconciliation is something that has to be part and parcel of us when we wake up every morning. Imagine you sleeping with someone in your heart and waking up with somebody in your heart. It is so draining. It is said that do not allow your anger go down with the sun, and it is very, very bad. So as the sun is going down, let your anger go down and wake up as a new being. Always try to see how you live peaceably with all men. Even our Lord and Master have said it. Live peaceably with all men. Definitely temptations are bound everywhere. You are meant to be offended week in, week out, day in, day out, every second, every minute. Even as you are just moving, minding your own business, somebody is there ready to make sure that he tempts you. So please, for the sake of God, try and make sure you live peaceably with all men. Now let's try and be, if all of us have this mindset of saying we want to be the fool, there will be no problem. Let us not claim right.
Someone has to start by being the
yes.
first.
But if all of us start and say, okay, just imagine now a scenario like we bump into each other and I was saying, I was wrong. I said you were wrong. I was wrong. You understand? It will be very easy, but like we bump into each other and I say that, why did you hit me? And you said, you hit me first. Why did do you know who I am? And you do you know who I am? You see, this is the problem. This is the problem. This is where we get it wrong. Now you understand. So let us try and see how we can be the fool at every particular point in time. Who you are does not matter at the point.
Yes.
You do not know where you will find this person tomorrow. So try as much as possible to live peaceably with all men. Your status do not matter. As you rightly said, it is said in the Bible of creations that naked we come and naked we're going to go. We came in empty and we're going to go back empty. So please try and live peaceably with all men. 70 times 7 is a very big number to forgive somebody a day.
Can you forgive someone?
You see, the number is unlimited.
No, let's leave the Bible. Let's talk about you. How many times can you forgive someone?
As the doctrine has already told us, unlimited. Like seriously, for me now, I do not really have that kind of time to say I want to start holding somebody in my mind. No. We've grown past that stage, so we have to make sure we forgive ourselves. As you rightly said, you forgive yourself. If you forgive yourself, definitely you can forgive others. All right, thank you so much to all our audience for staying glued to Starcross TV, and we thank you so much for all your comments on Facebook. Also, we thank you so much for all your comments on our YouTube channel. It has been a very wonderful time and a very blissful moment here with us on Starcross TV. Yes, from Sister Gladys Oyamba, we see you. The unique kingdom of God Almighty, from Belema and Perfect Peace, beloved brethren, from Kelvin Derrick, thank you, Father. From Loretta, thank you, Father. From Tompolo, thank you, Father. From Azokocha Okocha, thank you, most righteous Father, His Holiness Olomba Ubu. Thank you so much for all your comments. And thank you to a wonderful crew, from the cinematographers down to the MCRO, the production manager. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. And to my beautiful, amazing colleague, if you want to be like Sister Peace, please slide into her DM. And she's going to give you all the remedy for the physical and all the attributes. Don't worry, you're going to get it. Understand? All right, this is where we're drawing the curtains close for the Morning Star Breakfast Show, but we still have other wonderful and exciting programs to come your way during the day. We still have wonderful program, the Music on Demand, and we still have our Divine Dialogue, a wonderful program you will not love to miss. This is a program where you have to come and watch and learn. All right, until we come your way, same station, same time. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.